What's going on, guys? We're back at it with another one, and today is a little bit of a different video. We will be doing a boat maintenance video. My boat has been sitting here since before I went to Guyana, and it is a complete mess. There's a pile of leaves inside of it, there's junk inside of it, barnacles over the bottom, needs to be scraped, repainted. And then also we have an issue with the trolling motor making a loud squealing sound. So we need to order a bearing kit from Minn Kota. Here's a little update from since Hurricane Ian in late September. Yard's still kind of a mess. I was just scooping out the pool. But the issue that we have with the pool is we need to clean the inside of this pool. That means it needs to be drained. And you really can't drain a fiberglass pool without hooking up well points around it to drain the water table beneath. Otherwise, this fiberglass pool will pop up out of the ground and you will have an absolute horrible, expensive mess on your hands. Let's get over towards the boat and check her out. Like I said, the yard is still a complete mess. This boat needs to be out of here this weekend or next weekend because there's another shed going here. But yeah, still a mess here from the hurricane. It's been a lot of work to get the property back to normal. But here's the boat today, all full of junk and leaves. Let's check out the bottom. Bottom of the boat is full of these nice barnacles, which have been drying for months. So it should be fairly easy for me to scrape all this off. Definitely have to get all this junk off my depth finder and off my jack plate. And not even sure if the engine still works. I'm sure it does. We have to make sure that there's no water in my gas tank over here. Let's see what type of trolling motor we have. It's a Minn Kota Riptide, and it is a, I believe it's a 55-pound thrust. Yep, 55-pound thrust. So we need to order the correct bearing kit for a 55-pound thrust Minn Kota Riptide. Have to check to see if I still have anti-fouling paint from last year, and the shed got not completely wrecked, but got pretty wrecked in hurricane. No roof left, everything got wet. We're still cleaning up. It's just been a big mess. I'm trying to find anti-fouling paint in this mess, and I might just tell my dad I can't find it and just get a new can from West Marine, just because everything got wrecked. Yeah, so here's some anti-fouling paint right here, but it doesn't sound too good. Hear that? Yeah, it's definitely bad paint. So we're definitely going to need a new can of anti-fouling paint and probably a new brush, because God knows where there's a brush. But we could still scrape the bottom of the boat, so we have to find some sort of scraper that will work. And I think I see something here that will do the job. This little doohickey, I mean, it's all rusted and whatnot, so I don't think he'll mind if I use that. There was another one that I used previous years, but I'm just not seeing it. It was kind of hanging up in the same general area, and maybe it got taken away with the hurricane. Who knows? Everything's just a complete mess still. Let's get out there. Let's start scraping the bottom. I'll tell my dad to get some anti-fouling paint for us at West Marine, and we'll see you in a minute. Let's get to scraping the back end of the boat first. So let's start there. Managed to get my first wound of the day on these nice barnacles on the back corner of the boat here. So we're going to continue on scraping, and hopefully we're not too damaged by the time we're done. So we finished this back corner here all the way underneath and along the side, but now we have to get underneath this jack plate, which is really hard to get your hands in there and not get all cut up. Look at all these mussels and worms and barnacles under here. Let's get to scraping all that stuff off. just finished the back end of the boat, scraping it all. You can see it's all pretty smooth. So it's all scraped up all around the jack plate on both sides. Got to get underneath here and start scraping the rest of this. Before we proceed on to the next step, we need to scrape the whole bottom part of this hull, and let's army crawl under there. Let's get underneath this boat. Time to army crawl under. This is what I like to do. Time to roll over. Attempt to roll over. Very tight space. Gotta think thin. Oh yeah. Okay, it's about as far back as I can get with this bar right in front of me. Let's see if I remember the mask, at least. Did I? No, why would I? Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna be eating barnacles and worms for lunch here. I try to keep my mouth shut so I don't eat too much of this. Let's get to scraping. Gotta adjust the angle of the scraper. Get into these little crevices here. Oh yeah. Now it's time to attempt to get back out from underneath this boat without getting hurt. Okay, almost there. Right, now we have some spots right above our head here to scrape until we keep crawling back forward. Oh, it's so uncomfortable and tight. The hardest part is in between the bunk, well, in between the bunk and here, trying to get this stuff out. Just a weird angle. So you just got to kind of pick at it like this. We're up to the bow now, so we just have this front section right underneath here, a little bit back here that I missed. I didn't see while I was underneath. And then we just got to walk around the sides of the boat and just make sure there's no barnacles or any cinder worms on the side. Then the next step will be I have to go to West Marine and get some anti-foul paint, but it is getting a little late in the day, so that'll probably be tomorrow. I was just inside with my dad. We were on a phone with Maine Coda. Like I said, we need to replace the bearings and the seals and whatever else because my Maine Coda is making a really loud squealing sound. It's actually intermittent. It needs to be fixed, but unfortunately I don't think we'll get that on video. Kit still needs to come from Maine Coda. My dad's going to replace the bearings on it sometime midweek while I'm at work. We'll maybe continue bottom painting tomorrow. If not, we'll definitely do it the following weekend. And we're gonna launch the boat into the water and hopefully everything runs properly with the engine and we'll get back out there fishing. So let's finish this up. We just finished scraping this whole entire boat, the whole back end, the whole underside, all along the sides. And next step that I'm gonna do, I'm not even gonna film it, is I'm gonna just clean out whatever junk's in here, all the leaves and stuff that accumulated during the hurricane. So we'll get back to you tomorrow. First step here is to pour some of this muriatic acid into my buckets. Just gonna pour just a little bit in there, not too much, just about yay. That's all you really need. A little extra splash doesn't hurt. And the first thing I'm going to do is grab my garden hose and just rinse, get the side wet, rinse it off. Just a quick rinse. We're just going to start at the bow. We're gonna dip our brush in the acid. Just be careful with this stuff, guys. Like you don't want to breathe this in. You don't want to get this in your eyes, your mouth. It's some pretty nasty stuff. And we're just gonna simply scrub it on. And you can see it already fizzing here. That means it is working. This stuff works pretty darn good. We're gonna scrub the yellow. And we're only gonna go a few feet. We're not gonna go too far. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're going to rinse it off fairly soon. But we're also going to do the bottom of the boat. I'm going to scrub down here. Just try to get as much as possible to get this stuff off. Right up to about here, but we still have to get underneath here a little bit better. All right, let that sit just a second, and we're gonna grab our garden hose and rinse off inside the boat, and you'll see the difference here in a second. I barely have enough hose. I have a kink in the hose somewhere. What is going on? There it is. Okay. Rinse this off, and you could already see that the yellowing is gone. Rinse off the bottom pretty well because we're going to paint that in a little bit. Alright, got most of the acid off, but notice, look, all nice and white. Look at this, here's the yellow. So that stuff works really good. So I'm going to leave this camera over here in time lapse, and we're going to finish this side of the boat. Just finished acid washing one side of the boat. As you can see, the big difference here all the way down. Nice and white all the way back to the stern. But there is two sides to a boat, so we have to go around to the other side and do the same exact thing. As you can see, it looks identical to the first side that we just did. So let's get to that. As I'm acid washing the side there's this worm like right over there, and there's this lizard right there that ran right up on it. I'm kind of hoping he eats it. Oh, is he gonna eat it? Yes, he grabbed it. Check that out. I can't believe I got that on video. It's pretty funny. There's that lizard eating that worm right there. Is he gonna be able to eat this whole entire worm? It's a giant worm. Look at him go. No way. He just managed to take off somewhere out into the bushes, but that was pretty cool to see. All right, let's continue acid washing my boat. Dip our brush in some acid and scrub onto the yellow stained areas. Get all up in the crack there with the jack plate. Oh, getting acid all over me. That is perfect. Gotta love the burn. Oh yeah. Put some on the jack plate there, trying to get the staining off. And we gotta also make sure we get underneath the hole. Reach as far up as you can. Alright. Yeah, getting acid all over my arm is spectacular right now. Scrub all in between the jack plate. Trying to get as much of this gunk off as possible. Okay, let's go to the other side. Do the transducer, try to get all this stuff off. Yeah, look at that nice chunk of acid on my arm. That feels pretty good right now. I think we accomplished what we're looking to do. Get the hose, and we'll start rinsing. Probably should rinse that acid off first on my arm. Alright, all better. Starting to burn pretty bad. And we still got some algae there, so we're gonna have to scrub a little harder. Now we're going to get to rinsing off the actual hole. Oop, as I trip over the acid. Rinse off the hole and the inside of the boat, and we're going to scrub the heck out of this, and we're going to make this thing really nice so we can go fishing either tomorrow or the following day. We have a bucket of suds here. We have a dirty boat. First step is we're going to put the bucket down, and we're going to get our garden hose. We're just going to try to rinse all this dirt into the bilge. Rinse bird poop and whatever else off the deck of the boat. Some things will need some straight up bleach, like I noticed my trolling motor shaft is covered in mold, so we'll use straight up bleach on that. And there's a little lizard in there. Get out. You don't want to be in there, bud. Got to bleach it. So I just saw him hop out. Alright, let's rinse this all out in here. Look at all that nasty dirt. This is all the dirt from Hurricane Ian right here. And we're just going to rinse it all into the bilge. We're going to have to clear out the bilge later probably. If there's any twigs or leaves inside there from me rinsing. Let's get all this debris out of the drain. Try to get as much of this leaves and twigs out of here as possible, because it'll be less for us to clean up later inside the bilge of the boat. And now it'll be time for us to start scrubbing. We're going to start at the top deck of the boat. Another thing I want to do, I just noticed this is kind of from like rubbing up against my stick-it anchor that I tie off right here. So we're going to use our magic sponge later after we clean the boat and get all these black streaks off. Get our brush all sudsy and start scrubbing away. And this is when I'm going to leave you guys on time lapse up there, and I'm going to finish cleaning this boat. Well, just finished cleaning the boat and it took a lot longer than what I expected. It was at least 2 hours of me doing this. My camera over there even died on time lapse. So this is kind of what we're doing with now. Got a nice clean deck, nice clean trolling motor. Now inside the hole itself, it's a little stained from all the leaves and mud and stuff that was in here. And there's even like sap. So I gotta like get like a razor blade and like scrape at that down there to get that off. And clean the console, that came out okay. But there's a stain on the other side of the boat there that I have to keep on working on. Maybe some concentrated bleach and some more magic erasers, maybe an SOS pad, or maybe it has to be painted. And the reason why I'm saying that is there is a few spots on this boat, like along here, along the side, that the paint has chipped off from my stick anchor rubbing up against it, and I have a lot of little spots like this with chipping in it. I got to fill in old cleat holes. And let's go around to the other side, and this is where the major chipping is. Got a lot of chipping action going on here. Look at that, just pieces coming off. So maybe it'll be worth sanding down a little bit and repainting parts of the boat, but I'm not going to do that right now. Still haven't got to the bottom paint part yet. The cleaning took a lot more time than expected. So what I think I'm going to do tonight is tape off the sides of the boat right around the edge of where the bottom paint's going to go, and tomorrow morning we're going to actually bust out the bottom paint and paint the bottom, and hopefully some point during the day tomorrow we could hook it up to the truck, bring it to the ramp, and finally get her in the water. So let's get some tape on the bottom. Can't say that I'm good at taping off and painting anything, so definitely no Picasso here. I think the hole's dry enough to stick the tape on, hopefully. So we're gonna try to see, you're already kind of screwing up. I don't know if you could see that. I have the camera kind of on my chest. Try to line it up with the bottom. And there's people that are definitely way better at this. And just try to line it up kind of where the paint line is now. This is why I'd rather get it over with tonight, because I'd just want to get to the painting part first thing tomorrow morning. So we're going to try to keep one solid piece as much as possible here. All right, so far kind of in a way successful. Try to get it as even as possible, which I'm not doing that great. Okay, this is definitely going to take longer than what I hoped. Pull out a big piece and see what happens here. Okay, I think I managed to successfully get the tape line up in one solid piece, believe it or not, and it didn't seem like the hole was too wet that the tape wouldn't stick. So we got a decent line going on here. We're going to go around to the other side and do the same exact thing. So we'll get back to you once the other side's taped up. Managed to get the port side of the boat all taped. Now we're going to go over towards the back of the boat and tape up this section here. It seems a little wet, so it might not stick that well, but we will see. I'm just going to kind of rip off a piece about the size of the back of the boat. I forgot to scrub that algae off, but whatever. This is a fishing boat, right? What does it matter? Okay, got that taped off there. A little higher than what it was last time, but that's okay. You usually get an algae line up to about yay, but I'm not going to bottom paint all the way up here. Now this side, line it up about yay. And let's get our tape going. Hopefully it's about the same height as the other side. Wrap it around. Nope, did not want to do that. Come on. And I think we got something going. All right, I think we're looking pretty good. So the boat is completely taped off, ready for paint tomorrow morning, and the sun is going down over there. So I think I'm going to call it the evening with the boat right now, and we'll get back at you in the morning. It is the following morning, and I'm about to bottom paint the boat before we launch it. We got some anti-fouling paint here. We got to make sure we shake this up really well, and then we have a stirring stick down somewhere. I don't know where I exactly put it, but I have a stirring stick somewhere. I want to make sure we get this nice and shook and stirred up before we apply the paint. We're gonna have to pop the lid off this paint can. Just gonna use the edge of the scraper and gently go around the rim of the can until we get the lid off here. there it is. All right, we got ourselves an open can of paint, and I did find my stir. It's a used one, but who cares? And we're just gonna go in there. We're gonna give her a good stir. You can feel the bottom super thick and sticky. You want to stir all that goodness up. All right, after almost kind of spilling the paint while stirring it, we got it pretty stirred. We got it stirred up pretty good, and we're gonna pour it into this not so clean paint tray, but we're not painting the Mona Lisa here, so what does it matter? Give yourself a healthy amount there. And you know what I forgot to set up was my roller. Let me go back here. I got a roller. Take the plastic off. Nope, it's already open. Just gonna toss it in my boat for now. And we're going to put our roller right on to the handle. We're gonna get ourselves painting so we can get this boat into the water. Whew. Finally this thing is done. It took me like 3.5 hours, which is like an hour and a half longer than what it should have taken me, but I did take quite a few breaks. We have some workers coming by doing some work on the houses here that got pretty beat up during the Hurricane Ian, and chatting with some neighbors. But long story short, I am done. Boat is clean, boat is bottom painted, and the next step is we're going to remove all this painter's tape. Let me put the camera on my chest and let's do that and see if our line is somewhat straight. Take this back piece off. It's not looking too shabby, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised. Thought it was definitely going to be a little haggard looking, because definitely was not feeling it today painting. Didn't sleep so well last night, so last thing I wanted to do today was lay out in the sun and paint the bottom of my boat, but it needed to get done so we can get out there and make some more fishing videos. And there she is. Not too bad. The line looks pretty straight to me. Wow, okay, I did a better job than what I thought. Let's go all the way around. Still has a little algae up there. We can get that once the boat's in the water. I just want to get this thing in. All right, a little higher up in the back on this side than what I wanted, but it's not too bad. Look all the way down. Phew, I think we got a finished product there. Now it's time to launch the boat, but I will need my dad's help to do that. He could drive me over, dunk me in, and I could drive the boat back here to the house. But there is one other problem, and it is my trolling motor. The trolling motor intermittently squeals like a damn pig. Maybe one day it doesn't make a sound, the next day it's just all throughout the mangroves and flats and scares every single fish away. So there's no point in even having a trolling motor if it makes that sound. So we ordered bearings and seals and gaskets to hopefully eliminate that squealing sound, but we're still waiting on the package to show up. We were hoping that it was going to show up some point last week, but it didn't. So we're going to launch this boat, and we're just going to have to work on the trolling motor in the water, which isn't a big deal because we could just lift the trolling motor onto my seawall and change everything out that we need to do. So we will see you from the boat ramp. We're going to be hooking up the boat to my dad's truck. Probably going to get her launched. We're not going to have the trolling motor though, but that's all right. We're going to get a new lower unit half for this trolling motor, whatever you want to call it. But dad's just turning around right now, and we're going to hook this baby up to the truck. Come on. Time to get to the ramp and get her in. the water, and we're attempting to get out of this ramp area. Thanks to my dad for dropping me in. Not off to a good start here, guys. I think my engine's overheating. I don't see it pissing out the back. So with that being said, obviously the boat needs a little more work. So hopefully we can get out there soon. Let's see if the second time is a charm. I hope so. So basically what happened was my impeller was all messed up. So we had to run to a parts store to get a new impeller and water pump assembly kit. So hopefully we're good now. We'll see. All right, we're in the water, engine started. So let's see what happens. So far, no warning lights. The engine is pissing, so I think it was a bad water pump or a bad impeller in a water pump. So we're gonna attempt to get some speed here in a minute and make it to the house. Everything's still looking good, so I think we're in the clear. I'm just gonna get up to out of the slow no wake area and attempt to give it some throttle and see what happens, and then slow down, give my dad a call, let him know I'm A-okay. I think we're in action. We're full throttle right now. Everything seems okay. I do have a little drip coming from where my flush connects. Maybe the gasket isn't in there right, or the gasket fell out. We'll have to see once we get back to the house, but I think everything's okay. Whiskey Creek. We're just here at the entrance of it. Everything is running perfectly. The only thing is my poor trolling motor. It is what it is. No trolling motor for a little bit. Should be only like a few weeks out. Hopefully by then that farm does come in from Minn Kota and we'll get the trolling motor fixed up, and we'll be out here lure fishing, bait fishing for some snook, reds, jacks, trout, tarpon, whatever wants to bite. Get back to you when we're at the house. Made it back safe and sound, no issues with the engine or anything else with the boat, but we're home, and this is where I will conclude the video. And my friends, always stay fishing, and we'll see you on the next one.